My mama's cooking. Why? Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Why? Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. There's a new sheriff in town, bitches. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. 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 Fuck you, talking about, nigga. My mama's cooking. My mama's cooking. My mama's cooking. Bitch, you can't do it. I'm gonna get a beat to that. Bitch, you can't do it. Bitch, you can't do it. Bitch, you can't do it. I'm gonna slow it down for the Texas nigga. Bitch, you can't do it. Bitch, you can't do it. Bitch, you can't do it. Fuck you, talking about, nigga. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Why? Get a little taste of mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
Black, you ain't black. Black leadership. 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 You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't 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 black. I want black. Trump. You ain't black. Racism. You ain't black. Charlemagne. You ain't black. Essential workers. You ain't black.
I'm black.
You ain't black.
Why not?
You ain't black.
Come on, guys. I'm Black Dana.
Come on, man. You ain't black. Blacks. You ain't black. Dr. King. You ain't black. This virus. You ain't black. Come on, man. You ain't black. A disproportionate amount of them black. You ain't black. Now people recognize that you ain't black and you ain't black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't 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 black. I want black.
I tell you what, if I had to tell them any one of these people, I'd be
Black.
What's up, you filthy animals? Oh, man, I'm tired already, man. I've been up since I woke up at like 2:30. And then I said, I ain't getting up. I said, don't get up, boy. Don't get up. Don't get up. It's going to ruin your day. So I watched a little TV show till about 3:30. Then fell asleep. Woke back up at 6:45. So I've been on the move ever since. Oh, how y'all doing? How y'all day going? I just been doing some landlord stuff, looking at cabinets. Tell me what y'all think. We settle up on some cabinets. I think I'm gonna go with these right here. I don't got no money because these things right here, they wanted 11.5. We talked them down to 10.5. 10,500 for the cabinets. These are kitchen cabinets. We got them for 10.5. They're middle of the road. We didn't go top of the line. They wanted 20 bands for top of the line. 21 bands, 20 bands, something like that. So I ain't got 21 bands. We give you a little 10.5. You know what I'm saying? Like them young niggas pay for that pack. At 10.5, 10.5 get me a set of cabinets. You know what I'm talking about? 10.5 get me some cabinets. We done ripped out the bathroom in that joint. We finna rip out that tub. We ripping right now. We ripping out the tub. We finna rip out that flooring. And we're gonna run the same flooring that's in the house on this flooring. This is the closet. Yeah, this is the closet. We gotta stain the wood. and that good stuff. This is the screened in back porch. We got to change out that fan and change out some of that roof. And then we tearing out the windows of the other spot. What is this? Oh, oh yeah, this is the outside. Leveling that thing off. But yeah, man, 10-5, man. 10-5. Get you some cabinets. For rent, KB? I don't know, man. The numbers I'm hearing as far as selling, that's why I put some decent cabinets in there in case I want to sell. Feel me? Everything's for sale that leads to something bigger. And when I say everything, I mean everything. No, these come primered down. They don't even come painted. The big cabinets, they cost us. That's not installed either. I got to paint them white and install them. Shit, they got cabinets that got a little more detail that's $21,000. I said, oh, hell no. I said, 21 who? They said, yeah, 21 bands. I said, damn. Yeah, so the numbers that I'm hearing for these houses, I don't know. It might make me think of something different, you know. I don't know. I'm just weighing my landlord options out. If I look tired, I am. I'm tired in a motherfucker. But that's okay. Let's wake up. Because we got to talk about Chicago. Interest rates are trending down. Yeah, man. Cabinets can cost a grip. Yeah, this is my third time buying some cabinets. So other cabinets I paid. In Virginia, those cabinets were, we were selling that house. So those cabinets we got them for a good deal. We got those for 18 grand. About 18. Send them troops. Would high crime areas benefit from a police presence? Oh shit, let me get into my Brandon Johnson. Excuse me? He was like, excuse me? He'd be blinking and shit. Yeah, well, police officers help in crime areas. Well, I'll take it back to when I went to church. And, just because you go to church don't mean that every time you listening to the pastor. And so I used to go to church as an itty bitty boy and I get pinched because I didn't listen to the pastor. But I still received the word through my self-conscious. So what was you saying again? No. I'm just asking, would high crime area benefit from a police presence? Okay, thank you for that question again. But we can't just talk about that, right? See, we could talk about that, but we got to talk about free lunch programs. Because free lunch programs, like how could you have enough nourishment to even do something if you can't even eat? So yeah, we got to talk about that because it's about a number of things, not just what you're saying. I'm like, nigga, you gonna answer the question? I was so mad listening to him dodge that question. I was so tired. The dude kept asking. I'm like, dude, don't ask it no more. He's not gonna answer the question. Shoot. You got a pinch, even if you move a little bit still. Yeah, exactly. Sit still. I'm just saying he never answered that question. That was annoying. I don't know about y'all. I don't even want y'all. I hope y'all don't want me to play that one. I'm trying to avoid that one. I got a couple videos of some people that I've been watching that they clipped up a lot of things these people have been saying. So I want to play those because it's the TikToks and the people from actually Chicago. Let's see. Here's one of them right here. This is all the people from the Chi-Town. He ignored the question and had the reporter removed. Yeah, he ain't answered that question, Jack. That's the best thing in the world. Do not answer nobody's questions. That's what it seemed like. Nobody answers no one questions. I had to turn that bright ass light out. That shit hurt my eye. Shit. What kind of fucking light is that? My eyes are all blue now. Oof. I'll just turn up my computer screen so you can see me more. Because, yeah, I can't have that bright ass light on my eye. I'm sorry. But let's get to this. Fair use, fair use. Let me play some music, man, because we're going to be here a minute looking at some of these videos and some of the stuff that I see going on. Here it is. You have one side with the people in power that's holding on to their jobs. They're trying to convince you that there is no crime. They're trying to convince the rest of the world that there is no crime. While everyone else in Chicago, all of these black residents, somehow they're lying, or they're either Trump boys or whatever they are, Trump women, because they seem to like and appreciate the police presence. They seem to get that we need more policing when you got 52 children getting shot. 52 people got shot in Chicago. But crime is down. Now, if y'all remember back to last year, they had some little mechanism in Chicago that would catch gunfire anywhere, and it would automatically notify the police. If y'all notice, this whole crime down thing happened right around the time they took this big brother eye in the sky. Y'all know the name of this thing that they have in Chicago that catches gunfire, calls the cops. That thing is no longer there. So all of a sudden, they can only tell you that, hey, crime is down, crime is down. Crime may not even be getting reported. You remove the thing that was going to make sure that crime was reported. So now, just like LeBron James' basketball career is made up of bullshit stats. Oh, boy, that's going to bring me some drama right there. Why the fuck is he talking about LeBron? Watch, they're going to be mad. Why he brought up LeBron in this one? Yeah, that's going to bring some drama right there. But anyway, it's called the Shot Spotter. Yeah, they got the, thank you guys. See, that's why I love my chat. You ain't got to know everything. We got an interactive chat. But they got rid of the Shot Spotter. So now they're talking about stats. They want you to just hear the stat line. Crime is down. Don't want to hear nothing from the residents. Don't want to hear nothing from the people that live there. Crime is down. That's all we want you to know. And that's disgusting. Why is it that that's all they want to talk about is a stat when we already saw what Trump did when he brought the troops to, actually he brought them to DC. We already saw no homicides for how many days? So why would you want, I guess black lives only matter when they're unalived, because I told y'all before, Democrat ran cities are the most unsafe. They're the most dangerous cities in the world for black boys specifically. They're dangerous for black women because they're open to rape or dating the wrong type of guy that'll unalive them. The drugs, the prostitution, those things that go on. But these Democrat-led cities, if you look at these cities, they're the highest in certain stats, and especially amongst us. And it seems like if you mention it, you're a coon because like we don't want this to stop. If you talk about it somehow that you don't like your mama, systemic racism is the problem. When I can show you a video that it'll tell you a lie about this systemic racism thing. Let me see. Let me play this to see if I can get it on my phone. Because my homeboy sent me a video. And this is the craziest video I ever seen in my life. But it just goes to show you that what I've been saying is right this whole time. Hold on. Let me see. This is on IG. SCL hip hop. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Matter of fact, let me play this video and I'm gonna find this other clip, y'all.
They have the privilege of saying that because they keep themselves in their careful bubbles of Lincoln Park, Wicker Park. They stay up in some of the northern areas and they go and frolic at the beach, playing volleyball and pickleball and tennis in these areas where it's clean. There's minimal crime. Of course, you feel like we don't need the National Guard because you've never stepped foot on the actual South and West Side. Elitist progressives and leftist white Chicagoans have the privilege of not needing the National Guard in order to feel safe in their communities. They walk out their door in the morning with their babies to go get a quick coffee and their kid on a scooter with a helmet. That's privilege. That's the same privilege that you claim you want to be a part of unpacking and getting away from. It's the yuppie white women in Chicago who want to scream about Trump being fascist, yet they keep themselves carefully, safely tucked away in Lincoln Park. Come to Woodlawn. And not the cute part. No, go past 63rd. Come to Auburn Gresham. Chatham. Inglewood. Get on your scooter there. And do it about 7 o'clock. Okay. If you're not.
Y'all heard the black women. Y'all heard the black woman. Now, y'all white liberal women that are out there clapping it up, talking about we love black people, we gonna protect their rights. Brandon Johnson, you over here talking about you trying to protect black people with 52 of them getting shot. You worried about protecting them from Trump. You got to be a crazy, sick son of a gun that you still trying to push this lie that you trying to protect black people from Trump when ain't nobody asking you for protection from Trump. We asking you for protection from them YNs that's up there shooting up your whole street. Now, let me show you the difference between what I was saying before. That this is, uh-oh, I hope that's still up there. Yeah, it's still there. This is not only some systematic stuff because of the amount of money that they make from us thinking this real N-word stuff is actually real and actually something we should participate in. Because, you know, we love some real N-words, whether we like to say it or not. We love some real N-word. So, but I also said that they brainwashed us to the point to where we have no aggression towards any other race of men. We have all this aggression towards other black men that look just like us. And this video right here is proof positive, because as soon as a black person would have pulled up on another black person, he would have been unalive before his foot hit the street. They would have Swiss cheesed that car up as it was rolling up. This man was not only able to come out and talk trash to them, he was able to go back to his truck and fire off shots at them without one shot returned. And everybody that was up there was black. So black lives don't matter to nobody, not even black people. Our life don't matter to nobody if you're only aggressive towards black people. I'm not trying to incite violence, but every time it's black on black conversations, the first thing another black person offers somebody black is some sort of violence. And then in real life, when they encounter white men, they know how to tamper their ass down. I don't understand that. Don't say that you a real N-word, because this real N-word thing, a real N-word, we don't want to keep it real about that. Only thing that they define a real N-word is that somebody who unalive N-words. So here it is. We running around here talking about I'm a real, and then you be like, okay, let's check your resume. What do you do? Shoot, I got about 6 bodies. Okay, what does that mean? I unalive 6 people. You unalive 6 people. What? And it was all black. And that qualifies you in our culture as a real N-word. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Now, I wonder if we flip it and call white people that unalive black people a real N-word. Then those same very people will turn around and cry and holler about racism, because I don't think they care about Negroes getting unalive. I think they get jealous that they not the ones that's unaliving them. That's what I think. I think that we so sick in the mind, we get jealous that we ain't the one that's unaliving. Now let's look at our black revolutionary brothers that have no issue tampering their punk ass down when it comes to white folk. This them running up on them.
This is private property. Don't enter the yard.
I got a broke fucking foot.
Don't enter this yard.
But the motherfucker ain't got to park in the middle of the road. He could put it
All right, we just asked you to get in your car and please leave. You stop approaching me. Stop approaching me.
This was my fucking house.
Stop approaching me. Could you please get out of our yard and back in your vehicle? Could you please get out of the yard and get back in your vehicle, please, sir? I'm not gonna say nothing. Please.
I mean,
could you please?
I'm too old.
Hey, the man threatening him the whole time. I'm too old for this now.
Please get out of.
Look how he begging. Look how he begging. Can you all imagine what if we were this nice to one another? Hello? All right. God, dog, right together and listen. Tell me how much that's gonna cost me to change all them damn windowsills. How long you think it'll take to do that? At what price? All right. All right, so that you price in. Hold on, let me put on mute real quick. You why you hating the member for 12 months? Said great example of put your glasses back on. Yeah, he damn sure. Black person would have told him put his glasses back on. He'd been ready to swing. Hey KB, may your hopes and expectations be fulfilled in Jesus' name. Proverbs 23 verse 18. So look to you. Appreciate that. How do you say that? Thank you. Thank you. But yo, man. Look at the way they are trained to tamper down. Look. Running up in his yard, telling them what to say and do. Just imagine if we talk to each other disrespectful. Please leave my yard. Please. Instead of P8 and N-word, bop, 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 I'm going to get the chopper. Imagine if we talk to one another this peaceful. Oh, man, that would have been great. That's why I always said, respect me like you respect them white boys. This is a lot of respect. This is a lot of grace. When I said they don't look so crazy when I said respect me like you respect the white boy, now do it. Still, he said, Sue Daniel. Thank you. Hey, I still don't look so crazy. Now I can't say pseudonym, but I still don't look so crazy when I say respect me like you respect the white boy. Hey, I'll call you right back after this live. Okay. Yeah, I don't look so crazy saying that now, do I?
The yard and back in your vehicle.
Could you please? It is what it is. But it's evidently I ain't scared of y'all. I mean, I'm
damn, this little short joker barely over the car. I'm just letting you know I'm not scared of y'all. He steady, please, please, please. He telling them, I ain't scared of y'all. Respect me like you respect them white boys, man. Let me have a bad moment just like this. Look at this man. This man said, I ain't scared of y'all.
Black people, I am hired.
Y'all, look.
I've
Be
learned
quiet.
for
Don't say
30
nothing.
fucking years.
Don't
I
say
am
nothing.
hired. You
Don't
know
say
who
nothing.
you hurt?
You can ask
You know who
that,
hurt?
get away.
These-
Hey,
La la, y'all know we need them. They worked for me for goddamn 10, 15 years. I'm a nice guy.
okay.
But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
all you gotta
You gonna say nothing
do
to him.
is get off the fucking road. You
Okay.
ain't got to
You at this point you trespassing. You done asked to leave several times.
Notice how they can never get to the point of what the man is trying to talk about. Now, it's more so crazy that I know if this was a black dude pulling up in their yard like that, his ass would have been stretched out in the yard. They would have told the police he came up in my yard. They would have got a free kill because that's what we do to each other. But notice how they won't even have a conversation about what the hell is going on. Are you parked in the road? Can you get the hell out the road if that's the issue? We can't never talk about the issue. But let's get to what my bigger problem is with this video and how we treat each other.
Y'all. All you want to, but you're going to one in your fucking head.
He came back.
I'm not.
He got a gun. Now, mind you, he came back. That guy got a gun. The guy that's standing in the driveway got a gun. He got fired upon, and he didn't even use his weapon because of the dude is white. The dude went in his yard with a firearm, shot at him not once, but twice. Dude never used his firearm. He just kept talking the whole time because he got that golden skin, because he white. But we'll sit up here and talk all this tough shit on the internet because we know we only designated to unalive one another. We can easily say we gonna unalive each other and no one comes and get it. The state don't pick it up. No one says nothing. This little 5'5" or however tall he is, white guy, came and pressed these dudes by himself.
He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail, and I started to shoot his ass.
Look,
but
he had a gun in his hand.
Yeah, he going to jail. You going to jail?
Now look, the very same people that claim we don't like the police, F the police. We don't talk to police. Because the man was white, all of a sudden, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have Rodney, if this is too graphic, nobody got hurt in this situation, but I'll have Rodney edit it out. I think y'all need to see what I'm talking about.
Hey,
I'm sick of this shit. I ain't putting up no more. Get in the house. You hear me? I ain't putting up with it no more. You motherfuckers. Hey, you can keep it.
Look.
Now, he told them to get in their house. Buster shot at them. They ducked. They hid. They slid down and said he going to jail. The guy had so much understanding that these boys know how to mine, that they know better than to touch him. He turned his back on them when they had a gun on them. Turned his back on them. And I got to listen to rap song after rap song with this fake tough male bravado of Negroes acting like they tough, but they only do that amongst one another. Are they tough when the man is Armenian? Are they tough when the man is Mexican? Are they tough when the man is white? Are they tough when the man is any other race other than dark-skinned? And I think the answer is hell to the no. They've been brainwashed and conditioned to not like their daddies from women that been taught to not like their daddies. So now they hate everything that look like them. So they will unalive any male that talks and look like them. But when it comes to any other race of men, they look at them as what they're supposed to be looked at, as the authority. This one little white man turned them, all three of those black men, into little boys. They looked at him as the authority. He shot a rifle at them, told them to get back in their house. I'm not going to take this no more. Turned their back on them, and they did nothing but beg and plead with a firearm. How many of you think this same situation would have happened if they was black? It's the imagery. Why you think they always have it in rap songs, you talking about unaliving somebody that's your same skin color? It's conditioning you to never think about that with any other race of any person, which that's not something you should be thinking about. But if somebody comes to my yard with a gun, I don't give a fuck what color you is. I haven't been brainwashed like this. Before that motherfucker with it, while he was trying to get his weapon chambered, his ass would have got dropped right there on that goddamn easeway. Because that's enough. That's all I need to see. It's my life or your life. Damn your motherfucking color. I don't know the little boy stuff that they've been taught, that you got to be a street cat, that you got to be this. I know the law. And this right here would have been a free kill if you would have walked in my yard with a rifle at me. I don't give a fuck what color you is. So this is my problem with today's male. They're only aggressive to one another. They don't like their father. They don't like their mama's father. They sit around and they hear negative things about men 24 hours a day. So they have a disposition. They're men, but they don't like anything male outside of what they understand as their friend or their mama's boyfriend. They probably don't like him either. So nothing male that they like, that's their skin color. So much to the point where because if it's all about respect, right? We always talk about respect in our community. Don't nobody better not disrespect me. Does this look like respect to you? Oh, it's only disrespect when somebody black do it. Oh, I see how it works. I see how it works now.
For 30 fucking years. You
can actually get away. Hey.
Y'all know we need them? Yeah. They worked for me for goddamn 10, 15 years. I'm a nice guy.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is,
okay.
All you gotta do is get off the fucking road. You ain't gotta
at this point, you trespassing. You've been asked to leave several times.
Y'all.
Hey.
I'm sick of this shit.
Now, you got a guy hollering leave when a guy is racking his rifle saying, let me tell you something. That skin, boy, I don't know what was so important about this skin. But boy, this is all I would have needed to see. He racking a chamber in his racking around in the head of his rifle saying, let me tell you something. And the other guy hollering, leave. And the other guy ducking and running with a firearm. How many of you think this person would have been unalive if they was black? Yeah, white privilege is real because we give it to them. This is the white privilege I want to talk about. The white privilege that got them being able to walk around with shih tzus in any neighborhood across America. You can turn Cabrini Green into a place that white people can walk shih tzus through. I want to know, why do they have the white privilege to walk around without you knowing to fuck with them in a certain type of way? Yeah, some of you might rob them. Yeah, some of you might steal their wallet. But majority of you know better than to talk about unaliving white males and white women in the street that you have no regard to. Matter of fact, you make songs about unaliving black folks in the middle of the street, and some company made by white people pay you lots of money to sing songs about unaliving your own people. and make it to where we shake ass and we bop our heads to riding around and spinning. We call it nice thing. We call it spinning and spinning and spinning when you really just unaliving black people. And we all bop our heads to it, and the girls shake their ass to unaliving black people. What a great society. What a great day the Lord has made that black people will shake ass in the unaliving of black people. What a great day the Lord has made that black people would take financial gains and put on gold crowns and chains of royalty in the backs of unaliving black people. What a fucking shame. And if you say something about it, you a coon. If you say something about it, you ain't like us. You a white boy. If you say something about it, you the problem and not the 6 son bitches that perpetuate the problem. Cause you know, and a song ain't a good song unless a nigga dying in it. Yeah. I don't know how you can make a good song without a nigga dying in it. How can you make a good song without somebody telling you how much drugs they on? Can't do that. That would be almost impossible. And we don't like no rappers unless they talk about unaliving each other. So yeah, what a great day. While white privilege holds strong, where not only can he walk in your yard and tell you what to do, bust one at you, then leave without a scratch. This is white privilege right here. Damn the white privilege that they tell you about, that they can go into a bank and get a loan. That's just some mythical shit. You don't know what their credit score look like. We can't really go see because nobody telling you these people credit score. Nobody's showing you their collateral or their residual income. But this is what the white privilege I see. The white privilege that I see that you niggas know better. You niggas know better than to harm them, but you niggas praise each other for harming each other. That's the biggest white privilege I see. So if you can, I identify as white. Respect me like you respect them white boys, and don't put your motherfucking hands on me either. Because we know you ain't gonna touch a white boy. We get it. You niggas have been conditioned. So respect me like you respect these white boys. Example A.
I ain't putting no more. Get in the house.
Gun in his hand.
You hear me? I ain't putting up with it no more. You motherfuckers. Hey.
Baddest white man in the world. Boy, this is the baddest white man in the world right here. And this ain't even a biggin, boy. This is a little old white boy. Baddest white man in the world. Little old small pipsqueak. Go up in there. Bow! Get back in the house. I ain't gonna play with you. You niggas better respect me like you respect them white boys. I'm talking about don't touch me. Give me the same respect that you give them white boys. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
You're not gonna do that. Mind your business.
So it just gone from bad to worse to disastrous.
No one really feels safe. It's impossible to feel safe in a city like this, especially with the leadership we have.
The kids nowadays, they're just wreaking havoc in all of the neighborhoods. We didn't play with guns and we didn't listen to drill rap music like at this very young age. Like these kids are carrying guns like around the ages of 8 years old, and they're killing other 8-year-old kids with guns. It's insane.
So the governor and the mayor, Brandon Johnson, the governor and the mayor of Chicago are saying that they don't want Trump to come to Chicago because they're upset with him. This is so stupid. They're mad because he pulled grants for violence prevention or whatever it is that he pulled back in the spring. Talking about, well, you took the money, so you can't help us. If the money and the grants did not work, because God knows where that money went, you try a different strategy to stop the violence. The violence is still continuing. People are still being murdered down there all the time. So you don't want him to send the National Guard. And then I was watching on a video on YouTube. I forgot who the guy was, but it was still the mayor. He was being asked the question. He said, hey, if 5,000 troops or if 5,000 more policemen were released on the streets of Chicago, do you think that would help? He refused to answer the question. He kept saying, well, let's be clear here. When I was growing up, he just started. All he did.
Yeah. That nigga went into the when I was growing up stories. Salute to you, beautiful one. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I apologize. Appreciate you, Baker man. Salute, beautiful one up in the building. Hey, but Brandon Johnson, boy, Lord have mercy. In that panel right there, that's the one. Boy, please don't make me play it. That joker there. He hard to deal with.
He was divert the question. He would not just say, hey, he said, look, I'm gonna ask you one more time. He was like, would it be beneficial just off that alone? Everything else you said that's good, you know, affordable housing. Okay, we got all of that. What if we gave you 5,000 more police officers to police the city? Would that help? He refused to answer the question. He kept diverting it. And you know what? All the Democrats do that. They always divert. If you say, they will never give Trump credit for anything good that he's done. They won't give him credit for any of that. They will still spew their hatred. And those people are dangerous. Those are the people that will never admit that they're wrong. Even when all the cards are laid out and say, hey, this is where you're wrong right here. Do you agree? Because it's been proven this is where you're wrong with this. They will absolutely divert and they will not admit the truth. In the world where we continue to give money for a program that's obviously not, it's proven not to work, because we don't know where the money truly went, but the program didn't work. So why would I continue to fund something that's not providing a benefit? It's not stopping the issue. It's not stopping the murders. It's not stopping the violence. Why would I continue to give money? I'm going to try a different strategy. I'm gonna put the cops in there and scare everybody. Not just scare everybody, but lock these criminals up like they should be. And they're not giving him credit for anything that's going on in DC. The fact that the murders are down, that they haven't had any murders reported for the past 12 days or something like that. People are happy.
Because they're not going to give him credit for stopping a cash cow. It's big business in that. It's big business in the game of unaliving people, having this sickness of having the people that you really don't like anyway. You don't got to do nothing systematic no more. You got them up here. Mentally, they feel like you are a real N-word. It's families, it's families and generations of people trying to be realer and harder than their daddies, trying to be more of a gangster than their uncles. It's families that's already entrenched in it now. There's been unalivings of generations of men in certain families. So when one is born, they learn about their uncles, they learn about whatever. This is big business. They're not trying to stop this. This is what the prisoner pipeline, they got new ones building them right now. So why would they want to stop a race of people that you claim that no one likes anyway? And then you guys are going to unalive yourself. And then the ones that don't unalive themselves, they're going to come into our prison institutions, stay in there 20, 30 plus years, make license plates, make soaps, make Bob Barker and his family richer than I don't know what. And then they're going to get out as old, broken men. And they're going to teach that same cycle to other little boys that's looking up to them instead of their fathers. There's going to be another gangster movie about somebody black that some little boy is going to be looking up at him like he's a hero. And they're going to mimic that behavior. And they're going to be right in the same situation. And the cycle continues. In our culture, the strongest of us, in our women's eyes, in our neighborhood's eyes, are the killers. We do not value college grads. We don't value the attorneys. We don't value the judges unless we need them. We value the street cats. We value the people that live outside of the law. And until we start valuing the people who do the right thing just as much as we celebrate the people who come home from prison. How many parties? I know my family, we always had a party or going away party or coming back party for somebody who was going in or coming out of prison. But I don't remember really any parties for somebody who was going to college or coming back from college. I don't remember that. I don't remember the same enthusiasm. I remember they would shut down and have a block party for a nigga that just came home from prison. That's a real one. And people will hand them money, all kind of shit. But somebody who come home from college that need the money to further their education, or somebody who graduated that need a lump sum of money so that they can start a business that may improve the community. Nah, he probably can't get no money from our community. We can't put no money together for somebody like that. We'll put the money together to get a pack. It's interesting what we actually like and what we say on camera and shit. It's two different things, in my opinion.
People are feeling safe. There are even Democrats, black Democrats, because they don't even know why the heck they Democrat. They don't even know, truth be told. But anyway, they've just been told to follow the narrative because they are black. That's Negro here nor there. They're even showing support. They're like, dang, I wouldn't vote for Trump, but it does feel good to go outside and there's nobody out here and there's nobody doing this and nobody doing that. Thank you. Because you are seeing true results. That is what Trump is providing. Stop and tell y'all that, because the way that he was talking, Trump, don't come here. We don't need your help. Who's going to help you then? Who's going to help the mothers that continue to lose children? Who's going to help these black men out here that ain't got no self-control and they need to be locked up somewhere so they can realize the error of their way? Anyway.
So the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, signed.
You can't say that. Don't wish jail on nobody.
That continue to lose children. Who's going to help these black men out here that ain't got no self-control and they need to be locked up somewhere so they can realize the error of their way? Anyway.
Don't wish death on nobody. You can't, don't wish jail on nobody. You can't wish jail on somebody, but you can leave the killer free so he can keep unaliving people. Make that make sense. You can't wish jail on somebody who's unalive in the community. Just leave them out to keep unalive. But you wish unaliving on that person. Let the streets do it. What happened to the person may go to jail and come out a changed person? He might find God. I don't understand it. Y'all can't do better. Get them likes up. Salute to you, Candy Man. We can't wish jail on them, but we can hope the streets unalive them. Street justice. Interesting.
So the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, signed an executive order to instruct his law enforcement not to work with the feds, right? I thought executive orders was Nazi and fascism. I thought that they were a threat to democracy, but another instance of hypocrisy. Rules for thee, not for me. You see what's happening in Chicago, right? Chicago is monetizing crime. Chicago is monetizing.
He spit a cold bar because Brandon Johnson was against executive orders and then he signed one. All these people were against executive orders. Joe Biden was against the auto pen, wouldn't use it until he used it 100,000 times or however many times he used it. I don't quite have the number, so I don't want to give any disinformation, but I know he used it. And now this brother is saying that the mayor of Chicago is monetizing crime. Now, people who are really, really smart, I know you guys can do some research and some probing. Where's Candace Owens when you need her? I know y'all can find the money and find who's getting the money and find who would benefit from all this crime. Who is benefiting from all this overtime hours? What's the budget for the police department in Chicago? Are all the funding for the money going to the police officers? Who's running the police officers and who's divvying out the money? Because I'm pretty sure that they're getting a lot of federal funding to be able to deal with crime in Chicago that doesn't look like they're really dealing with it. There's a lot of overtime hours, I'm pretty sure you can see on some of these cops' payroll. And if they haven't been able to get the job done, why not send the feds in when you're going to beg them for the money anyway? Brandon Johnson seemed to be like a spoiled little brat that pretends to be smart, that got daddy's bank account or daddy's wallet. So it doesn't matter what he does. He can just go out and spend and come back to daddy federal government begging some more. This is the most beggingest mayor I ever seen in my life. So all this mayor do is spend money and beg for money. He has no sense of saving, preparing, creating something that's going to turn some money back around coming into the city. What happened to coming up with something that's going to make some money, working with businessmen that's going to make some money both for individual and the city, that's going to bring revenue and a tax base to your city? Why is he always begging the government in a big, beautiful place like Chicago? No crime will expose the cash funneling. Yeah, I think if I'm Trump, I take this crime thing, this federal troop thing, around to all the dangerous cities across the country, red or blue. You think you just unalive people in the middle of the street? I think he should take it on a world tour and don't just wait one city at a time. Hell, we got enough military personnel. Take them over there, shoot, just send them all at once. Shit. And let's all figure this out. Send them to Sacramento, send them to goddamn Oakland, send them to San Francisco, St. Louis. Send them to certain parts of Atlanta. These boys they'll get in line quick down here. Send them to certain parts of Atlanta.
In crime, the crime goes up They're like, hey, Fed, send us more dollars. They throw a little bit of crumbs to the police unions, and they funnel the rest to the NGOs to continue to care for migrants, right? Because they're a sanctuary city. And hands off of our voters, as they often say.
So it's this brother's theory that they're giving a little bit of the money to the police force, and then the rest of it, like 60 million, is going to the hotel rooms of migrants. Because, you know, they care more about their voting block and staying in power, because they're not affected by getting mugged at a grocery store. They got police. They got somebody with a firearm around them. But you, in most of these cities, they don't want you to have a firearm or nobody with a firearm around you. Chicago got some of the strict gun laws, and DC does as well, but somehow they struggle with the most gun violence. New York has some of the strictest gun laws, but somehow they struggle with some of the highest gun violence. It makes no sense that every time they go to, let's restrict more access to weapons, when we can see that it only gives criminal elements weapons that allows us to be sheep. So no, I don't think I can stay in a state like that. No, sir.
What Trump needs to do is send a Doge team out there, send the National Guard to protect those Doge team, right? And audit the whole city, top to bottom, because you got to root the corruption out. Everybody, put cases on everybody, starting with Brandon Johnson. The Chicago Flips Red Crew, yo, try to get the feds to audit everything, all the books, preserve every last one of y'all documents, from the text chains to the emails. Everybody got to get looked at. Look under everything, see where those dollars went. Because Chicago is at a deficit, and it's not going to end this year. It's just going to compound. And then your city going to go bankrupt. And then all the jobs going to flee, and it's going to be Detroit. Like what happened to Detroit during the 08 housing crisis. And when all those bailouts had to go to the big autos, that's what's going to happen to Chicago shortly, in a hurry. And by that time, Brandon Johnson probably going to like punt the football to some other poor mayor that ain't going to know what he's doing. So until there's an audit, they're just going to keep playing with y'all money. So the taxpayers, we want to know where those dollars went.
I guess another page out of the woke, liberal, politically confused Democratic handbook says that if President Trump is for it and wants to sincerely help you, do not let him push back at all costs, even if it means allowing your own community and constituents to continue to be hurt, harmed, or killed. The governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago are refusing to allow Trump to help them by sending in the National Guard and helping the local PD reduce crime in the city of Chicago, because they say there's 30 other states with higher crime rate than Chicago. Bullshit. Chicago is one of the highest murder capitals in the freaking United States of America.
So wait a minute. They try to make it seem like there's 32 other states that will shoot at 50-something people in a weekend. Really? They must think because they took that shot spotter thing down, they was really slick. They were prepared for this moment. These people play politics all day long, boy.
We've all seen it. We've all heard the news. The governor is floating down this river or whatever in a boat in Chicago yesterday, talking about, look how peaceful it is. Me and my wife just walked for ice cream over the weekend. Yeah, you didn't walk down the city in the inner city. You didn't go where they're actually shooting and killing people. You went with your security guards where you're safe and protected. So tell that bullshit to the mother and the grandmothers and the fathers of them kids that are being killed on a weekly basis in the city of Chicago. Do you believe crime is actually down in Chicago and they don't need the president's help? Or do you believe they absolutely need the president's help and the National Guard to come in, because we cannot afford to lose another American life on the city streets in Chicago?
You know the reason that the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago don't really care about the crime and they're pretending like it doesn't exist? Because it's mostly isolated to the South Side. It's isolated to the regions where Black people are the majority. This is where the crime. You guys are killing each other.
Hello, thank you. Finally, we got another young brother that understands that they're only allowing you to fake like you a killer because you're doing it to one another. You cannot go off and take this on the road. You know, when Trump sent the troops to DC, when Big Balls Pauls got beat up, a white boy for Doge. So let's not pretend. Trump sent them out because you stopped doing what you were doing in the areas that you were supposed to do it in. DC been had horrible crime. But once you started whipping people in areas that you wasn't supposed to whip people at, Now we got to send in troops. Now enough is enough. We got to stop this shit. So they're trying to make it like it's some black agenda, like Trump is just attacking these black mayors. Let's not forget, what started this is that a white boy got his behind whipped. Let's keep it real. And I got to get off camera because I need to hit this swagger dash. But yeah, let's keep it real that this young brother is telling the truth. And I've been trying to tell y'all, you guys, most of this black on black crime, you guys might as well say you the right arm of them white boys, because they only let you do this to one another because you're not really tough. They just would. Most people don't like you anyway. So why would they care if you shooting at another N-word? You know, why would you care? So no, when you got that Thule at your own brethren, you might as well say you a part of the KKK. Let's just keep it like that. You a part of the KKK. Y'all ain't down with us. Y'all not like us. Y'all part of the fucking KKK.
Why would they care? How could that matter to them? There are no civilians in their eyes, like in these areas, because this is what these areas were created for: population control, prison labor, like to keep this cycle perpetuated. This is what it was created for. So of course they're going to
prison labor.
As you've seen over this weekend, over every weekend, bro. Why shouldn't these people deserve to live in peace? Why shouldn't your grandma be able to walk down the street without worrying about? Why should little kids be able to walk around and play without getting shot to death? Why can't you sit in your car without needing to shoot in your car? Them people deserve to be safe, bro. The criminals, bro.
Chicago. Y'all really outdid yourself. I'm convinced now that the National Guard really is going to be here. It was either the mayor or the governor.
KB, sad to say, but I was telling the truth the whole time. They've been taking bets every weekend on which city and how many effed up. Yeah, that's crazy. Taking bets on how many black people gonna get unalived in your city. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. Chicago and DC have the strictest gun laws, but these geniuses fail to realize that the gun laws only affect law-abiding citizens. Criminals don't abide by laws. They're criminals. Shaking my head, laugh out loud. Yeah, but you know, for some reason, they're so smart and we're so dumb. They're trying to get criminals to live within the law when they already said that we criminals. So let's just punish the law-abiding citizens every time the criminals do something, since we're scared of them.
Confirmed that, you know, per the information that they received, that the National Guard should be here by Friday. Y'all do too much. Y'all do too much. Like, the senseless gun violence is absolutely mind-boggling, but these things must occur because we are living in the last days. And you could talk to you blue in the face like I'm doing. You can be outside protesting like others are doing, and it still must happen because the Bible prophecies cannot be stopped. But let me touch on this though. It was so sad to see those older women on 47 who got hit in crossfire or were targeted, don't know. The elderly women on the ground, you know, who got shot. Like, what's going on? The two women in the gardens that just lost their lives a day apart due to gun violence. Yeah, absolutely insane. 36 to Ellis, mass shooting. Mellow Bucks party, mass shooting. 39 picnic, mass. What's going on? Y'all don't have nothing else to do with your life. You don't see nothing else to do with your life. Like, it's unreal. And thanks to y'all, you finna mess it up. You've messed it up for everybody. See, when they come out here, because they came out here in the 60s before, and they was bothering regular citizens, people that's mad in their business. See, when they come out here, it's gonna be different from DC. They coming out here to have a funky good old time because Chicago has this reputation and is a known city that's stricken with violence. You know, so they coming out here to have a funky good old time. Just know that. You not no sniper. You don't have the tactical training that they have. You have none of that. I don't care if you think you're the biggest YN in Iraq. You can't hold a candle to them people, really. And they can legally put you down. So, and then there's so many egos out here. I really don't see this being a good thing at all. And like I say, it's gonna go completely different.
Hold on, ma'am. Them YN think they the baddest thing smoking. So, ma'am, I don't know if you're right about that. These YN say they soldiers. So, shoot. Let's see who the real soldiers. Let's see if it's the YNs or the actual soldiers. You know, the YNs done got all the adults scared. They done got their mamas scared. The mamas can't parent them. The daddies ain't around. The uncle's scared of them. Hell, ain't nobody in the streets gonna risk their life saying nothing to these crazy mother truckers. So shoot, let's see if the real soldiers can do something to them. You created all this problem. Let's see if the soldiers can handle them. Can't nobody else handle them. I know ain't no men in the community gonna risk their life when they got a wife at home. I guarantee you, every wife is instructing their husband not to talk to these YNs when they out in the streets. I can guarantee. I don't think there's a wife at home saying, hey, you got to protect the community and stop these little young YNs from tearing up the community. A smart wife will say, look, honey, keep your head down. Don't you say nothing to them little crazy little suckers unless you get back on home to me and your kids in here. See, that's why the community is in disarray. Ain't nobody finna put their life on the line dealing with these little crazy little suckers. These little Molly babies. Y'all want to rap about Molly Percocet. Molly Percocet. Check a hoe, never check a bit, or whatever he said. Y'all want to rap about Molly Percocet all day and then wonder why these babies acting so crazy when just by, you know, sheer nature of just the laws of nature, that some of these babies are Molly Percocet. So we used to just have Hennessy babies, you know, a time or two in there, you have a little stimulated baby off some other substance. But now you got these Molly Percocet babies. That's what these YNs are. These the Molly Percocet babies. They mama had ADHD, their daddy had ADHD, and then they added Molly and Percocet, and now you got this little nigga that don't know when to put the gun up or when to act like he got some sense.
From what it is in DC. That's light work. They coming out here on straight business dealing with y'all for real. And yeah, just messed it up for everybody. Like it's unreal. But y'all be safe though.
You know, I want everybody to understand that anything the Democrats say, it's usually the opposite. So when Mayor Johnson stood there before the press and signed that executive order saying that it is to protect the people of Chicago, he meant the opposite. I mean, you have the National Guard, the federal government coming to help your city, which is in crisis due to crime, and you're blocking them. You're telling police departments, your law enforcement agencies to not collaborate with the National Guard. A city that you know have a problem with crime. Every week there's a shooting. I just watched a video of individuals on a football field on the floor because there was shots fired at the football game. And there's not an issue going on with crime in Chicago. This guy is gaslighting. He's gaslighting.
No, it's not an issue in Chicago. That's an issue where the black folks at. We don't have no issue when you go over there to the white folks' neighborhood when they playing football. They get to go out there and play football just no problem. Didn't I show the video? They know better than to do that in certain neighborhoods. Sometimes all you got to do is cross a certain threshold. Let me tell you a secret. There's a reason why most of your affluent black folks, they go move around white people. They come from straight hood territories. And then most of them go move. Most of them don't live where Rollo live at. Rollo still stay in his hood. Or right around somewhere. Most of them get some money. And they know that it's safe. It's safer for them. Only thing they got to worry about is the police and the Karen. You know, it's safer for them if they just cross one little threshold. They just cross a bridge or just cross into this neighborhood, cross into this county where white folks take you to jail, lock your ass up longer than your goddamn own life expectancy, and they won't bother you. You talk about don't cross the railroad track. Like when I lived in DC, McLean, Virginia, I don't know what them white folks did to them Negroes in McLean, Virginia. But I knew some people that really was fine to me. That was cool with me. But they used to tell me, bro, I'm not driving out to your house. I'm not coming. I'm not fucking with them people out there in Virginia. He said, they different. they would never come to McLean, Virginia. And I knew then, I said, oh, okay. A lot of these niggas ain't as bad as they say they is. Because if they know their ass gonna go to jail for sure without questioning, boy, they know how to avoid some shit. And I didn't even know where I lived at until they started telling me. They like, boy, you live in one of the counties that, boy, look here, they don't play. You stay out there by the senators and shit like that. And you in the Commonwealth. Nigga, they give you ass a charge on top of a charge. He said, man, he said, He said, boy, I'm not coming out there and having no white folks. He said, I don't even want to talk to a police from McLean, Virginia. I said, damn. They had that type of fear in them police out there. I said, holy Lord. Now, that's the type of police that should be in every neighborhood. If Negroes scared to come out there, that's the type of police I need to see. Hey, me and some of our VA don't play. YN mentality. If we can't get you, you will get your family, babies and grandparents, including grocery stores, church, funeral home, doesn't matter. Sad. Well, them YNs, somebody old must have told them about McLean, Virginia, because I can guarantee ain't no shootings out there in McLean, Virginia. It's probably very rare, and it's probably somebody busting at their wife or their spouse or jacking here and there, but yeah. They said McLean, it's a sundown town. Shit, they let me live there. Shit, I only kept hours. I kept hours like somebody was going to work. They never seen me. It was always going to work hours. I would leave my house like 4:30, 5 o'clock because I had to be down to the gym by 6:15. We had that 6 a.m. workout. So I would leave at 5 a.m. It didn't take an hour when you're the only one on the road. It'd take about a half hour, 30 minutes. I'd drive that little back way, flying. What's crazy to say? They let me stay there. I don't think it's a sundown town because a lot of black folks stayed out there. I'm in VA, mind your business and they mind yours. Yeah. I know them rules out there different. He got caught with a joint back then and weed wasn't legal. This nigga got caught with a joint and had to do a year and a day. So that's what they mean by laws. People ain't trying to deal with no getting caught with no joint and doing a year and a day.
He deserved a pair of cuffs for himself. And I hate to see the people of Chicago vote for such scum. I hate to see it, but this is who you vote for. This is exactly who you pick. You know, vote blue no matter who. This is the who. This guy is incompetent. And he
damn, he talking about machine fit, talking about the whole district knows about Route 66 and Leesburg Pike Cascade held to the now. I'm telling you, it's like an unwritten rule in DC. I'm like, what the? Hey, however them white boys put it down out there in DC, boy, they got them niggas to understand, boy. I'm talking about everybody know. You stay well, nigga, I'm not coming out there. I'm not coming way out. When I lived in Alexandria, Virginia, they'd come visit. I lived in Alexandria. Niggas ain't had no problem. Arlington, they were starting to say, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like Arlington, but you know, it's a town where you get, you know, it's cool. There's some nice parts of Arlington where nobody would bother you. But they were starting to get funny then. But when I moved to McLean, Virginia, they say, nigga, I'm not coming to your house. I'm not coming nowhere near your house. They never crossed the bridge in the 90s. Damn. So wait a minute. Niggas wouldn't even cross the bridge to go to Virginia in the 90s. Jesus Christ. Boy, there's some beautiful women out there in Virginia. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I see why y'all niggas be mad. Y'all niggas be having them big fine women, and there's a shortage of men. Oh, it's a shortage of men out there because there's too many women. And some of y'all women be out there moving around, and y'all niggas be ready to kill somebody because there's some big fine women out there, boy. Lord have mercy. And y'all got to stop that.
He has shown time and time again that he's incompetent and he lacks leadership. And I think that the people of Chicago should do the right thing and get him out of office because they deserve to have safety in their city.
In Chicago, everybody got to get down. Everybody got to get down because they shoot. Everybody down. Look, these kids are running. They shooting. We can't have no fun in Chicago, man. No fun.
Hey, black man that's laying on the ground because somebody's shooting at a kid's game. Crime is down in Chicago. Stand up. Come on now. Don't do this to Chicago. Crime is down. Stand up. This is a shame. That's how Brandon Johnson sound. When Chicagoans speak out and say things like this, his response to it is crime and stats are down. The man is laying on the ground. The man is laying on the ground at a kid's game. That means children can be unalive. And the only thing that the mayor of the town can say to that is the crime stats say that it's down. Well, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Maybe the crime stat down where the hell he lived to even the balance out. But this shouldn't go on in no society where you have to lay down on the field because somebody don't know no better to not shoot around a park. We need to bring some law back. That mayor is too soft. I want a mayor that even the gangsters know. Man, look here, bro. If you see a nigga around that park, this is how the law gotta be. The law can't be about what color somebody is. The law gotta make sense. There's always gonna be a criminal element. But if I was ever the mayor of any town, the one thing you gonna know, I'll ride around to every hood and I'll pull up on them niggas. Look here. Now, I know y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do, and I'm gonna try to catch your motherfucking ass. I'm gonna try to lock you up. But I'm gonna scorch earth if any one of you some bitches shoot around a park, shoot around some children, around some women. If you young punks don't know how to keep it gangster and keep it around you amongst yourselves, then I'm gonna intervene and I'm gonna tear your mama house up. I'm gonna tear your grandma house up. I'm gonna make it so uncomfortable for your entire family. Nigga, your cousin gonna beat your ass for making sure what I'm gonna do to your family. Nobody gonna hide you either when I get on you. I'll make sure they know. I wouldn't be on camera talking about ain't no problem because the numbers down. Not when people laying on the damn ground in my city. Not at no park where people can't enjoy, black folks can't enjoy outing with their children at a park. You don't deserve to be the mayor. Yeah, you don't deserve to be no mayor. Every gangster in my city would know. They'd know my face because I'm pulling up on you. Hell, I got the crime stats. Hell, I know where to go. He don't need to be scared. Take 2 or 3 of your goddamn white officers. They know better to touch the white officers. Take 2 or 3 of your white officers. Go on down there and pull up on them niggas right in their face. I know you. I've seen your file. Now, as soon as something happened over here, I'm coming to get you. That's what I do. You say you the OG and you the gangster. Soon as something happened over here, I'm coming to get you first. And then I'm gonna tear up your baby mama house. Hell, I might put some of the officers on her, try to bend over. Yeah, I'm playing for keeps if I'm the mayor. But you'll know better to do some shit like this in my city. Like hell, you shoot at somebody, the referees laying on the ground in my city? No, sir. That ain't a black thing, that ain't a white thing, that's a respect thing. You niggas would learn. If you want to have a disposition with somebody, you will learn that there's rules to engage. You don't do that around children. You don't have grown-ups at a kid's game laying on no goddamn on ground. So I wouldn't be sanctioning you to do nothing, but I would damn sure be incentivizing a lot of cop hours at catching whoever. And I'd have a lot of reward money for catching whoever shot at some doggone park where the referee's doing this. And this is in this man's city, that this is going viral, that everybody's laying on the ground in Chicago. Everybody laying on the ground after you telling everybody about some stats. Trump, this video right here is enough alone for you to send them goddamn feds or do whatever you need to do, Trump. This the video, fuck all that. This the video right here, this enough, Trump. Send the feds, send the troops, send everything you need. We want our babies to be able to play and have fun, just like the white babies get to play and have fun without worrying about getting their arm or leg blown off or worse, or even seeing or going through the trauma of having to lay on the ground and stop your fun activity. Send the damn troops. It's time to get these niggas a couple calendars. Send the troops. This is enough of this shit. Whoever think this is cool, whoever think that this is some real N-word stuff, whoever think that this is all about Trump trying to win an election when he can't get reelected, whoever is worried about the color of that man's skin and whatever you think the motive is, just know if he doesn't do it, more people that look like you will probably be unalive or have to live in neighborhoods where children have to be made to do this. Imagine the trauma of these little kids. Imagine how are they gonna grow to be somebody in life if they gotta dodge bullets at such a young age like this. This don't make no sense. Y'all the goddamn devil if y'all think this is cool. I would never want my child, man, God bless all the children, and I pray for all these kids that's out here having to deal with laying on the damn ground because some jackass decided to shoot near a park. This is crazy. And we talk all this shit about what white people do, this and that. When we see some shit like this, we can't even call it out with the same vitriol as we do when a white cop shoot a black person. Because that's all we care about. We so goddamn racist that all we care about who kill us, as long as there's somebody who black unalive us, hell, they earn stripes. If they white, they want to be sentenced. If he black and he from your neighborhood, hell, they running up the scope. They up one. That's what we say in our community. We'll put it on the song. We up one, nigga. We running up the scope on y'all. That's what we brag about on a daily, but we ain't sick. Niggas getting record deals for talking about being up one on unaliving people and then got the nerve to talk about what Black Lives Matter. Matter to who? Matter to who? You getting paid millions of dollars for white folks to tell your brethren that you up one unaliving black people. Tricking the hell out this young generation to where all these little boys just want to be little YNs. And this YN thing, they made it fashionable, but all YNs come with a gun though. So now we got a team of young black folks that got a weapon and don't know why they got it. But they just hear songs about ops and this and that. And now these Negroes just creating ops. 15 years old with a gun with ops. Why? Do you know it's a whole nother side of town? Do you know you don't have to have no damn ops? Like, this don't make no sense. We love this type of stuff. We love it though. That's the most entertaining thing about us. We get it popping anywhere. Yeah, we get it popping anywhere. Look at it. Some real one out here doing what real ones do. On-sighting somebody, catching somebody lacking.
Everybody got to get down because they shoot. Everybody down. Look, these kids are running. They shooting. We can't have no fun in Chicago, man. No fun, man. This is terrible.
So Brandon, and not the former president, let's go Brandon, if you know, you know, but Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, I hear, is reportedly calling for the citizens to take to the streets if President Trump does indeed send in the National Guard. Wouldn't that be like inciting a riot or inciting violence? Just asking for a friend of a friend, you know. At any rate, you guys, that would be the reason, Mayor Johnson, why President Trump is considering taking or sending the National Guard to your city is because your people have already taken to the streets. Oh, I swear I'm so tired of these bought and paid for politicians. It's almost as if they literally took Lucifer up on his offer when he said, all of these things will I give thee if you bow down
and worship me. But like the good book says, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? But it seems like nowadays that's the only trade deals that liberals are interested in. Shout out to President Trump for making America great again. MAGA!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Chicago.
She said,
I'm talking
MAGA.
to Chicago residents specifically. I know everybody in this tussle about Trump bringing the National Guard or whatever, but y'all know how bad it is here. And it's like everybody must have forgot.
Ma'am, crime stats are down. You must have forgot. Crime stats are down.
What happened in 2020? If y'all forgot, let me remind you. This right here. I took this picture going to the grocery store. I was going to the grocery store. Y'all know the grocery store right there on Canal in Roosevelt, Jewel. I was going there to get a few things. We were in the middle of the pandemic. But they had called the National Guard then because of all of the looting and destroying the businesses, and these kids was out of control. It was in the middle of the pandemic.
I think they called the National Guard that time to protect the DNC, to protect them in Chicago. But they don't want them right now. They don't want the National Guard nowhere near protecting no black people. But I remember them calling the National Guard to protect them Democrats. I do remember that. Allegedly, I think I snapped.
I don't know why I don't get off into all that political mumbo jumbo. I'm not on either side. I ain't no Trump supporter. I ain't no none of that. But at the end of the day, you live here. You know how bad it is here. CPD do not care. CPD, they got these new laws now that they can't even, really arrest nobody. It's nothing. It really ain't nothing for them to do. They like some, what do you call crossing guards, really? They didn't put all these laws in place where CPD can't do nothing. They like just some crossing guards. That's all they are.
Now, why would you turn your police officers into crossing guards, as this young lady said, in a city where it's a lot of shooting and a lot of gang activity? Why would you turn your policing into crossing guards, allegedly? That's crazy. That means that they are deciding who lives and who dies. They've shown us that they can move and clean up certain neighborhoods that was once the worst parts of Chicago. So why is it that with black people in that same environment, why can't they make it safe? When white folks go to whatever environment, they make it safe by having a higher police presence there. They put cameras up on every corner so that when you commit a crime, you guaranteed to go to jail. So I just don't understand, does this technology not work in the hood? I don't think this technology works because you can literally put, with today's cameras, you can put a camera up on every corner. Some of our best colleges, Yale, and there's a camera on every corner around that school. You're not going to get up there without getting caught because that's a tax base, that's money. And so, okay, we spend money on a lot of other things. Let's spend money putting cameras on every damn corner. So at some point, we're going to catch you getting in that car. We're going to be able to get that tag and you're going to jail for the rest of your life. So therefore, we don't have a black man dying in every city every other night. In every major city, there's 2 or 3 black folks dying, black males, being unalive per night. And everybody's okay with it. It does not happen to any other race but us. But everybody okay. You can have several deterrents that you can spend money. We're going to have 2 cars that don't really leave this neighborhood. Their job is to just circle the most high crime infested neighborhood. Just circle these neighborhoods and just catch them if you can. That's what you do. And then you have cameras on every goddamn corner. And then now you force people to make a decision. Are we going to get a goddamn job or are we going to go to prison? Because we ain't going to allow you to just kill people no more. But that only happens when they move the black folks out. That's what it seemed like.
So yeah, I'm not against them. Bring them on. Is all these smash and grabs going on now? All these kids jumping on cars? It's just terrible. Bring them. And this too. I guess y'all must have forgot they done been here before. When it got bad in 2020, this was in June of 2020. When it got bad like that, the National Guard came. Listen, I want to protect. I want to be protected. I don't want to be out here and somebody, pill popping ass son think I'm breakfast for him or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be somewhere where I'm afraid to walk around. So yeah, no, bring them. Because it's getting out of control. I was at the gas station on 55th. If you from the city, you already know that was death trap right there off of Wentworth, off the expressway. But I had called a flat. I pulled into that shell right there. Next thing I know, it's about 10 CPD police cars cornered this Kia, this white Kia. And it wasn't none but them young boys. It was about 8 of them got out that little small Kia. They had them machine guns. They had all types of they running from the police, I guess, because they had stole the car. I mean, listen, my daughter is grown and gone. But I promise you, if I had a son, if I had young children, I would probably move them someplace else other than Chicago, somewhere in the suburbs, country area or something, because it's just not safe. So I'm not against it. I guess everybody want to act blind and act like they forgot. But this was in 2020.
The carnage, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson just cannot control. Hey, this is Keith, the law enforcement OG. I got 15 plus years experience in law enforcement. So let's get into this right here and right now. Now, I told you that this was going to happen. That's right. Over Labor Day weekend, within the city limits of Chicago, 53 people were shot. 53. 7 lost their lives due to homicide. This is a tragic reality of a city spiraling out of control under the so-called leadership of Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson. He flat out is incompetent, unqualified, and definitely cannot run the city facing the level of violence that is going on right now. Chicago deserves safety, accountability, and a strong leader, not Mayor Johnson. Mayor Johnson is focused more on politics than protecting his people, the residents of Chicago. Families are paying the price, the ultimate price, due to his failures, and that's with their lives and safety. This is crazy. 53 people shot, 7 lost their lives due to homicide.
I just want to speak on Chicago's violence. So I've been seeing a lot of things about Trump wanting to send in the National Guards to Chicago. And our biggest thing is, what do that look like? So if Trump can just get up on any platform and explain to us exactly what that looks like, I feel like us Chicago people, we will really appreciate that, because it's not a bad idea. I don't think that is normal. People keep saying oh, Chicago is so big. And at the end of the day, that's why we have so many murders. But you guys got to realize that it's some of us that's in one neighborhood, and every day we're waking up to somebody else dead. So if I'm one person on the South Side Roseland area who is experiencing losing people every other day, and we have people in East section that's experiencing that, that's still a whole lot of murders, regardless of geographically what that spans.
Hey, Trump, you need to bring the National Guards to Chicago, man. You got kids killing kids, man. That's not good, man. Washington, D.C., is not much going on compared to Chicago, man. I'm running. It's a war happening right now in Chicago, man. Hey, look, man. Look, go on the news, or go on Google, type Chicago. I'm going back home to Africa, man. I can't.
You talking about I'm going back home to Africa, man? I can't. Damn, we done sent a brother back to Africa with all this crime. Jesus Christ. Hold on, that's another video I wanted to show. Now, it might be having some of the same interviewers on here, but let me show you. Let me see if they have it. This is how this one started out.
Everybody down. Look, these kids are running. They shooting. We can't have no fun in Chicago, man. No fun, man. This is terrible. I'd have thought a goddamn flag. Because this y'all neighborhood. This might be over there, but I gotta see what it's like.
In today's video, we're talking about the city of Chicago. Following a bloody Labor Day weekend,
Salute, salute. The original content on this one is Charles Forte, I think.
Over 50 people were shot and 8 reported dead.
Man was hit in the arm. Holiday weekend in Chicago, including a shooting tonight near Montrose Beach, where police tell us a man was hit in the arm. The number of people shot looks like it will be double the same weekend last year. And all of this while Chicago is under the microscope. City leaders waiting to see if President Trump will send in the National Guard this week. We have team coverage tonight, starting with our Sabrina Franza. And Sabrina, we're still waiting on official totals from CPD.
Erica, we are, but our calculations count at least 50 people who have been shot over this Labor Day weekend. 7 people lost their lives, making an unofficial end to a summer that has otherwise been groundbreaking for crime numbers, violent crime numbers specifically being at an all-time low.
How many people were shot? 5 total shot.
Early this morning, police responded to a third mass shooting in Chicago over the weekend, this one on the 3600 block of Cottage Grove. 4 firearms were recovered, and each victim, all between the ages of 17 and 36, were taken to the hospital and are expected to survive. About 24 hours prior, another mass shooting on the 2700 block of Haddon. 4 people injured there. A few hours before that, a block away from Chicago's public safety headquarters, 7 people were shot. Police say multiple suspects drove by a large crowd, and at least one person started firing into that group. Those 16 victims, part of a larger group of more than 50 people, all who were injured in different shootings across the city this weekend. 7 people lost their lives. Who cares if
50 shootings, 7 people lost their life. And they think that they don't need the National Guard when over one weekend you got 50-something people getting shot. 7 deaths in a weekend. That's a massacre. That's crazy. That's a mass shooting. They just had a mass shooting in Chicago on a weekend, and this guy still says he's trying to protect Chicagoans when over a weekend he just had a mass shooting. This is what they voted for in Chicago. He black, he black. This is a shame. But they voted this.
Crimes down when you have that kind of statistic.
Patty Casey is a former Chicago police commander. She says she welcomes the National Guard so long as they don't interfere with local police.
The National Guard is there to deter. They're there to support. They are not there to take over policing.
Mayor Brandon Johnson has repeatedly pointed out that violent crime numbers are down this year compared to last year. This Labor Day weekend, though, we saw nearly double the number of shooting victims compared to last. Experts say the last few days could be used as a reason why the president chooses to send in federal agents.
We don't have a need for a national presence here, but this past weekend is going to be the precipitant to give Trump the opportunity to bring in the national.
What is that on top of your head? What the? Never mind, because I know prolonged insults about somebody's feature, that is harassing and bullying. And that's not what we're about over here. So we're going to move forward. Maybe in the neighborhood that you live in, they don't need the police. But we've heard from the black residents, my brother, that they need the police. So therefore, we're going to reject your deposit. I'm not going to say anything else about that rug. I mean, hair on the top of your head. And I'm going to hit play before our
guard.
Tomorrow, the Illinois Freedom Caucus, that's made up of state lawmakers who support the National Guard coming to Chicago, are hosting a press conference with victims of gun violence, explaining exactly why they think those agents could be used here. As we mentioned, we're also expecting to hear more from Chicago police tomorrow at some point. We'll bring that to you as soon as we have it. We're outside CPD headquarters. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago.
Sabrina, thank you.
And so if you let Mayor Brandon Johnson report the news, he'll tell you all about how the crime rate is down in the city of Chicago. Yet 2025's Labor Day weekend saw nearly double the amount of shootings than it did in 2024. And so how many 17-year-old boys who will never reach their...
Even if you add this to the stats, would the crime rate still be down? That's 7 unalive in a weekend Does that push it to the top to where Trump can be justified? Because I'm just saying.
Fullest potential have to lose their life before something is actually done.
Children can't walk around the community without fear of being hurt or kidnapped or having a drive-by. So it's what these numbers that they're expressing, we don't feel it in our quality of life.
I don't think y'all seen the videos with the YNs getting chased by the police, and then they ended up chasing the police. These little ninjas is different. I'm just saying.
So I think he was saying that the YNs was getting chased by the police, and then they turned around and started chasing the police. I don't know where that happened at, but that won't happen down here.
So the government is threatening to send the National Guards to Chicago. And I feel conflicted about it. And the reason why I feel conflicted about it is because, once again, everyone is looking for law enforcement, political figures, school teachers, etc., to handle the problems that Chicago is encountering. Majority of the problems that Chicago is encountering are these young people running around acting like goddamn animals. They acting like maniacs.
Ma'am, if you was white, some people would be offended. Cause you're talking about black children, you know, your mama black. I just want to make you aware of that. That's some of the stuff they would have said to me if I would have said that. Salute KB in the chat. You cannot enjoy a good time even on a holiday. National Guards is needed. I would like to support you if you have it. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. National Guard is definitely needed. But how everyone got to eat and smack. I know somebody was going to say that. Everybody that's talking, eating, and spitting. But listen, man, the young lady, let me see what she said.
And you know why? Due to lack of parenting. Yes, lack of structure. So if you're going to handle the problems that Chicago is encountering, majority of the problems that Chicago is encountering are these young people running around acting like goddamn animals. They acting like maniacs. And you know why? Due to lack of parenting. Yes, lack of structure. So if you're going to send the National Guards in, send the National Guards to the goddamn homes, to the parents. Hold the parents accountable. I don't know. Lock them up. Charge them. Start making them pay fines. I don't know. I don't have the solution. But I really don't think that the National Guards are the solution. I don't think the Chicago police are the solution.
Tracy, so young, that's exactly what it is. Black versus white on everything. I don't think this way, but that's societal norms. You can see the same thing get done if you just reverse the color. Different thoughts and different ideals will be said about the same thing that you're looking at based on the color of the people's skin and based on who's the victim and who's the aggressor. There's been studies about this, so that's absolutely, it's more about black versus white. They're going to look at everything like that.
The Chicago police officers want to go home just like we want to go home every day. They want to feel safe as well. They are here to serve and protect us. That's what they're supposed to do. They're not here to raise your children. They're not here to do that. And the National Guards are not supposed to do that. National Guards are trained for combat. They're trained for war. They're not trained for handling no young person. These YNs out here acting like goddamn fools. The parents are supposed to do that. So if we want to start doing something, let's hold these parents accountable. You got some shitty ass parents out here. You can't tell me that you don't know that John bringing guns in your house. You can't tell me that you don't know that he's smoking weed in your house. You can't tell me that you so oblivious that you don't realize he's out in the streets 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He's 13, 14 years old. No. It starts in the household. I have clients who are school teachers, clients who are Chicago police officers. They are all saying the things that they encounter with these parents. These parents suck. Parents, your goddamn children. So if you're going to bring the National Guards in, find a way to hold these parents accountable. Find a way to go after them.
Now, I agree with her on a lot of stuff that she said, but damn, you're going to lock the mamas up. Oh, boy, there'll be a lot of them locked up black women's, boy. Ooh, because their daddies ain't around. And a lot of these boys are the shooters. So they mamas, I can see their mamas fine, thick as they is, going to jail, weave coming out, and then they looking a little different. I ain't do it, my son did it. They'll have to snitch to get out with the mama snitch. I think they'll tell on little killer then. I don't know if I agree with them locking the parents up. Maybe you can have the parents hold them accountable in a different way. Like if you know your son doing something, like if you had the knowledge that your son was doing something and you aided and abetted, locked their ass up, but I don't know how you just gonna lock these people up. Because what if they're the type of parent that's telling their kid not to do it? Excuse me. And that kid is just rebellious and he still does it. Do you lock up a law-abiding citizen that didn't do nothing? How do we have free will? How do we make individual choices? I do think parents need to be able to parent their kids again, because it is some shitty-ass parents. Yeah, I think we should get harsher crimes for the young kids. If they're going to start doing crimes at a young age, we have to start sending their little young ass to boot camp. They go to a little military boot camp. We can work the anger out their little ass. Yeah, it's definitely some horrible parents.
That's all I'm saying. Because I don't think bringing the National Guards in is going to stop crime. I don't. Unless you really tackle the problem. The problem are these parents.
Exactly. It's always come back to the parenting. When you're talking about 13-year-old boys, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, young men walking around with handguns, flashing semi-automatics on TikToks because they think it's cool, not wanting to listen to authority, harassing and terrorizing working class people. Yeah, it comes back to the parenting. But how do you force someone who has been a shitty parent for years now? How do you force them to actually do a better job now that their child is 14, 15? They haven't been listening to them. They haven't been enforcing any rules or enough rules on their children for all these years. And now you think they're going to change? No. And so what it's really about are the working class people, like the gentleman who say he can't even have his kids outside because he's worried about a drive-by. It's really about just the everyday people who just want a little bit more peace as they walk through their neighborhood and don't have to feel like they may lose their life because of it.
So according to the crime stats in Chicago, during the Labor Day weekend, there has been 53 shootings in the city of Chicago. I think a few of those.
Shut the f up. I'm out of town. I never tell them.
Who is he really taking his orders from? Because it's not the people of Chicago.
When I'm out of town, I never tell nobody from Chicago. The first thing y'all gonna say is, shut the f up. There's no worse block worse than it's been bad since I was a little kid. It's called 79th. The whole goddamn thing. It stretches far as fuck. Yeah. Have fun over there. You want me to take you to the hood? I'll take you to the hood.
The quiet part out loud about Chicago. There are people who, like myself, were born and raised in the city of Chicago. Is it dangerous here? Yes, it's dangerous here. Are we generally desensitized to the amount of violence that goes on here? To some extent, yes. However, Chicago is one of them cities that what you live by is what you die by. Good, bad, or indifferent. What you win by is what you lose by. Sometimes when things happen in the city of Chicago, it's not a coincidence and it's not a shock to us, because if you be outside doing bullshit, gonna find you because you be outside doing. In all my years of being a Chicago native, there are a lot of things I've never dealt with because I don't be outside entertaining certain I also have a really good spidey senses. I know when to leave. I don't always need to prove a point to a stranger. There are some common sense things that were put into my head that have kept me.
She's right about that. I like what she's saying, but I also understand that there's certain things that she's not gonna understand being a young lady. Sometimes just being a male, I done been walking certain places and a nigga just asked me out of the blue, nigga, what you looking at or where you from? So they're not gonna approach you in that way because you're a female. So dude's gonna be approaching you trying to get your number, and how you negotiate that is gonna, be your encounter. But I done been in the wrong neighborhood and guys ask me, nigga, where you from? So it's just different being a guy. But overall, she's right. You get what you put out for the most part. You could be around the wrong crowd. You could be hanging at the wrong spot. So if you stick to some of those principles she's talking about, absolutely right. But there's still some gray area when you are a young man. We don't tend to like each other in the same way.
Alive, and you got it, big dog is one of them. Some people have a hard time and a hard life in Chicago because they go outside, they get involved with people who do bullshit. They be attached to things that have brought them nothing but bullshit. Not even no money and bullshit, but just bullshit. When y'all speak on Chicago, keep that in mind.
Listen, I think there's a lot of validity to what she's saying as far as how to avoid things. If you
There's definitely a lot of validity on what she's saying, but I still think there's a gray area and you can't get around it. But that's my time. I got to get up out of here. We got plenty more because I missed out on a lot of stuff. A lot of things happened while I was gone, so I will be back. But y'all have a blessed day. I appreciate everybody who super chatted. I'll call her back. But yeah, man, I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone. Appreciate you guys. Gone.